Al, welcome to the number one podcast that nobody knows about and fewer people even watch. I am Scooter. Notice that. Follow the news feed on the Twitter feed. My name, the Scooter McGee. Facebook, you can find me, Scooter McGee. Rumble, Scooter McGee number one, and Patreon, Scooter McGee. It is Mother's Day. Yeah, well, it does. Okay, so I don't care. It's 1 a.m. It's already Monday on the East Coast. It's already Victory Day, 9 a.m. in Moscow. It's still 3 p.m. in Tokyo, the day after Mother's Day. And yet it's only 10 o'clock at night at the Comedy Store in Los Angeles. So we're going to have a Coke and a smoke. And I want to prognosticate and update some previous prognostications that, well, they were wrong, so let's be correct in where we were wrong, and yet interesting launch windows to be watching the headlines. So we're going to have a coconut. I got a few written here. I have referenced in the first 21 episodes of this product covering the headlines out of the former Soviet Union that, you know what we need? We need a good crisis. You know what we need is another Noriega. We had the Honduran minister, and the getting arrested for trafficking narcotics and money laundering. We have the problems in the Honduras. Yes, okay. Uh-oh. Bong Bong Marcos, son of course, Ferdinand Marcos and his lovely and charming wife and all of her shoes. Well, there's an election there. Yes, they're voting in the Philippines as we speak. And it appears the son of the dictator is about to win. Ah, good. Perfect to gin up. However, I did reference it's only 3 o'clock in the afternoon in Tokyo as fears and growing concerns with a upcoming summit with President Biden attending in regarding tensions with North Korea and China. They're going to have another largely symbolic meeting in Japan, but concerns of a nuclear test coming up this next week in North Korea. Okay, not a story, but we'll see where this goes. Um, because of my references regarding Operation Chihuahua, that is being scrubbed. I have no alibi for the bombings in Havana. Bombing, singular, versus the number of attacks on churches and abortion clinic, all kinds of fun, non-abortion, this abortion, that abortion, everyone. Again, I'm working on my black. I did learn. Thank you for your comments from last night. It was very difficult for me to come out, but even further in identifying that not only am I a pregnant black rapper, but I'm a pregnant Irish black rapper. And to Sinn Féin, and oh my goodness, yes, not since '98 in the peace accords. Yes. Do we really have to discuss the Lord Fletcher Accords? The Lord Fletcher Accords, excuse me, the Brewskis Compact, the No Fly Zone, the Neutral Zone. Seriously? I am an Irish, Roman, Catholic, conservative, nationalist, expatriot, expat, Irish mafia, Irish Roman mafia. No, the headlines in Belfast for a Sunday Mother's Day. We might see borders again. Stranger things have happened as the pendulum swings back and forth. Like my concern, the rubber band, at some point, because of resistance, it does snap. But does the pendulum lose momentum or no? It seems each extreme more and more that's going to suggest it snaps and flies off. Because Mother's Day 2022, mothers worried about the rights of their children not to have, oh dear God, their body, their choice when it comes to that. And look, COVID, shh, okay? It turns out we were downplaying the number of dead. We could see 100 million people infected by fall. And what we thought were maybe 5 or 6 million dead could have been 15 million dead. Still in America, 100 or 1 million dead, 330 million Americans, and you're still focused on the Kentucky Derby. Seriously? Okay. Irish Catholic nationalists have won victory in Belfast. Salute. It's lunch. Come here. Since there was peace in Northern Ireland since in 1998, no peace. No peace. There can be no peace. Shh. Will Northern Ireland renounce from the United Kingdom and by de facto tentacles into the European Union and the well, it'd take a lot of time because the way we wrote that up in 1998, pretty much guaranteed they're never getting out. Well, and let's point out in the original days of the 60s and 70s and 80s, the Irish Republican Army, the IRA, okay? Salute, Chindan. Respect where respect is due. All of the jokes of the Irish who, this delusion of the potato famine. Well, how could you starve in the potato famine? Showing your complete lack of ignorance. Irish just as oppressed and victimized when America came as the Italians. Not going down that path again tonight. Irish conservative nationalists have gained control of Belfast. Politically, they didn't see, the bombings and the guns. No, we need we need a long game. This short distance, we need a long game. An interesting day in history, Mother's Day 2022. The IRA is now politically in charge of Northern Ireland, Belfast, the capital, based on the new elections. Now, here's where I'm getting very worried where this goes because Gen 4, Irish Roman Catholic conservative national, or sorry, Irish Roman Catholic conservative nationalist expat Irish mafia. So who's going to represent? It looks like oh dear God. Oh God. See, you put the clocks on the stove and this kind of happens. Okay. Everybody just, are you sure? Oh, no wonder I'm going nuts. First female Catholic. It's baby steps. I get it, and even I know they live longer than us. Okay. And if they had their way, we'd be off the face of the earth, but then they'd still get together and bitch about how we used to be. Okay. Um, but we can celebrate for the moment that they've not been officially, however, salute, Chindan, um, a major step in Northern Ireland regarding the importance of things like individual sovereignty and borders and the ability to govern oneself. I found the headline strikingly odd because, and my reference to my Irish Italian mafia versus Irish mafia very specifically, because this week's upcoming FBI release regarding organized crime in the United States and how it's taken a foothold, and I'm sure it's responsible for all the fentanyl and all these guns getting in the hands of inner city youths who don't have enough structure, enough social programs for after school. They, it's not going to be okay. I mean, I can lie to you and tell you it's going to be okay, but we haven't had that kind of relationship, have we? Um, First Lady Jill Biden, of course, for Mother's Day, made a secret trip, not so secret, into Ukraine to meet the First Lady of Ukraine. I know. So, who's in charge at the White House? And I don't even mean who's in charge of taking care of Joe. Who's in charge? A very significant, yes, this is very significant because Hillary Rodham Clinton has just got to be so pissed at this point because her and her daughter ran off the helicopter under sniper fire. The first, it's always about the first. That's all they can do now in the headlines. The first female first lady. You don't think I missed that on MSNBC, do ya? The first female first lady. What? So that when Governor Polis now takes the White House next, when the first husband, I see. The first female first lady. What was Michelle Obama? A freak of nature? The first female first lady in a war zone. But I thought it was just a proxy war. No, it's a Cold War. We're worried if all this money goes and intelligence goes, people think it's a proxy war and then it could go hot. I see. So the New York Times article that you're not walking back, yes, you are hugely, and you can't because you've shared intelligence with everybody but the American public. Uh, you may, in fact, now be guilty of war crimes, just as who leaked the Supreme Court document. You know what? I was wrong about the Alabama and the no, a couple hours and they're gone because the conspiracy keepers we chatted on this. I said, "Oh, but by Friday they got them. They'll have surveillance, they'll have this, they'll have that." Now, to our good folk down in Tennessee who got the vehicle and they ran the plate and they didn't know and it took a week, they had the car the same day, just didn't know because it slipped through the cracks. Because if we had more money and more funding and the computers were all tied into one another, we'd have picked them up like that. But I'll tell you what, to that correctional officer who was going to retire on Friday, and well, I guess she did sell her house, and she may or may not have. Yeah, I'm telling you, honey, you better turn yourself in because we're going to get you. I wish I were making this up. I really do. Okay, well, then my conspiracy keepers argument flies. Um, they ran to the water, and international waters, you got a 6 hour head start, you're gone. 6 hour head start. Jesus H. Christ on a popsicle stick. They had a week. We had a week to turn off the war in Ukraine. And I kept saying what needed to be done, and they've done the exact opposite. Where we were in the world, we were left back with Bong Bong Philippine election Marcos, and we got prematurely to our friends in Ireland. Okay, chin done. Well done. I know. First female now is going to be sharp. Okay, gentlemen, this is an opportunity. They're going to blame us for everything anyway. I know, I know. Now, look, we are responsible for a lot of it, but they drove us to it. So this is solidarity. Solidarity like we haven't seen since Lech Walesa and Poland. All right. And if we don't want history going south again, we all remember Poland. So I'm not joking. These aren't No, you can't say that. We're not talking about that word. We just don't want to go down that path again. Solidarity, gentlemen, because elections have consequences. And this is an I hope I'm wrong, but I'm probably not. What else was I wrong about? Jen Psaki, bye bye. Yeah. She did. I was wrong. She didn't get rolled out like an Easter egg for Easter, and she made another holiday. And stand by tomorrow because I don't think it's a week. I think this week somebody in the White House asks a question, she gets offended, and the talking points that night will be there's misogyny in the press room, there's racism in the press room, there's anti-trans in the press room, and it's coming from standing outside a Supreme Court justice's house attempting to sway their judicial opinion is a felony. All the video footage, all the people streaming, you being there, ginning up the crowd, you're in the crowd. At the old days, we're allowed to cover the news. You're not allowed to make it. You are now in an FBI crime scene, for sakes. I did say Jesus H. Christ on a popsicle stick. So, yeah, for Christ's sakes, you're in a crime scene. Won't be handled that way. So, from Portland to Madison to New York and Washington, ominous, unscalable fencing around the Supreme Court. Yeah, nothing in politics happens by accident. Ferdinand Marcos's son, Bong Bong, is about to Bong. I shouldn't say screw the liquor, thanks to Greeley West Side Liquor for the Twin Towers of Ukrainian vodka. And the ability the technology just to put out the number one podcast nobody knows about and fewer people watch, that would be Silver Mountain Jewelry and Pawn, who may or may not be a part of Operation Chihuahua, which we gotta scrub. Come up with a new name. Operation DeSoto. We will rename it. Actually, Operation would suggest action. At this point, there's none. Project DeSoto, that if implemented would then be Operation Brothel. Yeah, Operation Brothel. If Project Soto is launched and Operation Brothel is recorded, then you'll see it and you'll go, oh, I get it. That was really good. Yeah, I just thought of that. I didn't even look at my notes. I need to have a smoke. I lit that one twice and didn't, and it burned out. The Philippines and Ferdinand Marcos's kid. Speaking of kids, Justin Trudeau inviting all the American women up to, spend. Well, you can sign up to get one. It takes about 18 months. So they do it in a kinder, gentler way. They lure them out with maple syrup, and then they club them over the head with a hockey stick. Club them over. Yes, like a baby harp seal or just a baby seal, but with a hockey stick. Isn't maple syrup big in Canada? I don't know. Apparently abortion. And you come out, if the baby's head, is it the head coming out the right or the feet? I don't know. I'm not allowed pets, plants, or kids. I'm the poster child for birth control. Justin Trudeau. Yes, inviting the American women who feel that now they're not they're a second class citizen because they don't have rights. That haven't nothing's changed yet. But okay, that Canada, here they come, and Trudeau is welcoming them, just pointing out there's a lot of red tape. And if you do the math, um, as everybody worries about days, 8 hours, days, and weeks, and tries of the term to life or the meaning of life or whatever the world is about, um, yeah, we have a bigger problem. Socialized medicine doesn't work. So thank you, Justin Trudeau. I don't know if he kind of made that announcement in blackface or not. It was on social media on Twitter. Um, no one who's ever downloaded an app for gambling will be doing so regarding the second leg of the Triple Crown after the stunning. Yes, not so if you were listening to Conspiracy Keepers and me point. And here, last month in Dubuque, Iowa, the last of the dog racing is they're going to go after horse racing, and something's going to have to happen at the Derby because they're cutting for, well, that's not going to really happen, is it? No. How can you rig? That would mean everybody'd have to be in on it. Everybody. Define everybody. From the jockeys to the trainers to the owners. Those are small clubs, and you ain't in them. And the amount of money. Yeah, the amount of money for gambling on your smartphones now for the second leg of the Triple Crown. Um, Ireland elections. Hong Kong. Not chicken chow mein. Not Hong Kong Fooey. Elections in Hong Kong. Prognostication. Obviously, this war in Ukraine goes on for a decade. However, in light of the midterms, we know China is participating with Russia, playing us as fools, acting as a double agent. When do they take Taiwan? Well, they either take Taiwan after the midterms or in the next presidential cycle. I don't feel well either. No on this day in history past. No on this day in history current. Somebody's bothering me. We're texting me while I'm live. Okay, very cool. Salute, Chindan. My friends of Irish Mafia in Ireland, actually Ireland, more specific. Well, they're not at Blarney Castle. The Aaron Go Bra Kiss Me I'm an Idiot idiots have no idea what took place today in Belfast. And the media is not going to tell you. And they're waiting to gin up another new boogeyman as the son of I said his name, Ferdinand Marcos. The thriller in Manila was all the political because of what was going on. Yeah, there's a whole. I know Imelda in the shoes. That's what you got. Oh dear God, we're all gonna die. You know what this Ukrainian-Russian conflict needs? We need a good Central American boogeyman again. Like Noriega. No, we're getting one better. The son of Ferdinand Marcos. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Who is writing this script? Certainly not those who are assisting mine. Do I have any notes? Yes, but they're not about you. The national gas price continues to soar, 432, 438, 439 a gallon, depending upon what version of USA Today, Associated Press, or Reuters press release you saw at 9 p.m. Saturday evening. It's not Saturday evening, it's Sunday evening. Um, got to that. The situation in Havana is fluid. If you remember the old code, um, make sure the ham is in the oven and the socks are up to temperature. Right? Okay. The Ukrainian, as Jill Biden meets, as First Lady of America meets the First Lady of Ukraine to talk about the women and the refugees and the promises that we're there for you. Less than 200 Ukrainian refugees in the United States, 80,000 Cuban nationals, expats, refugees, asylum seekers in the first quarter of 2022. As 10,000 plus Ukrainians still sit at the US Mexican border as we wait for May 23rd and Title 42, which had a federal ruling to extend 2 more weeks. No, another ruling. We're fighting that ruling. Yeah, I don't even know why we need justices in courts. They're just all a bunch of old, mean white men. Careful. I don't know why you're worried about the leak, because I stand by what I said. It came out of the house of Sotomayor. We'll see if I'm right. We'll see if I'm wrong. We'll see if you guys like, comment, or share. We'll see if you dislike. We'll see a lot in the metrics if I actually looked at them. But thanks for looking at this. Thanks for, I guess, letting me ramble and vent. I still think politicians need to be able to tap their head and rub their tummy at the same time while completing a sentence so that we can prove that they are cognitively all in their head. They have their motor skills and the ability to communicate, because we're not getting any communication from everyone who has PhDs and effectively communicating. Let me be clear, and we're working on that, and we're working hard and advocacy, because silence is violence, and it's my body and my choice. And oh dear God, we're all gonna die. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. Dear Mother Mary of Sweet Mother Mary Ignatius Iceno, please let me be wrong. Okay, good night. Be well, be safe, and be incredibly leery of the headlines. Seriously, maybe do a little research on your own before, letting somebody else break it down and unpack it for you. I think you're big enough. You should hopefully be over 18 to be able to watch this, which means you're an adult and you can pull up your big boy or big girl panties and move on. Well, look, I didn't say, well, see, there are big boy panties. I said big boy or big girl panties. Get over it. Look at the time. Okay, I gotta go.